Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are 10 group with the members are Eka Nurdiasri Dwi Candra, Wahyu, Rahmatulloh, Khoirudin, and Gita Ayu Ardiawantana, Putri. Today we will explain about connected speech. Let's continue to first topic. Connected speech is spoken language in a continuous sequence as in normal conversation. It is also called connected discourse. There's often a significant difference between the way words are pronounced in isolation and the way they are pronounced in the context of connected speech. In connected speech, words or syllables are clipped, pros are run together, and words are stressed differently than they would be in writing. Direction of sounds in connected speech. One of the characteristics of connected speech is the deletion or clipping of sounds that occur when words run together. Example, want to can become wanna. Going to can become gonna. Rock and roll can become rock and roll. Them can become or them. In connected speech, these are very informal usage of common words that most often occur in casual conversation, so they would probably not be present in formal speech or writing. There's four aspects of connected speech. First is rhythm, second is assimilation, third is elision, fourth is linking. But for today, we just focus on rhythm and assimilation. Stress pattern in connected speech. In English, the stress pattern of a word is generally influenced by each context. Because of this, even native speakers might pronounce the same word differently, as is often the case in British versus American English. Connected speech complicates the use of stress by relocating it from one word to another. Peter Roach illustrates stress in connected speech in phonology, a practical course. He cites an aspect of connected speech is that the stress on a final stress compound tends to move to a preceding syllable and change to secondary stress if the following word begins with a strongly stressed syllable.
Rhythm refers to the recurrence of an event at regular periods of time. The rhythm of English speech depends on the stressed syllables occurring at regular intervals of time. Generally speaking, rhythm consists of intonation, syllables of stress and weak stress, pause and continuation. So, beside the mastery of sentence and word stress, it is as equally important for English learners to recognize the stress time rhythm. In the first, nature of rhythm. In connected speech, the stressed syllables follow each other nearly at roughly equal intervals of time, and the unstressed syllables, whether many or few, occupy almost the same period of time between the stressed syllables. The greater the number of unstressed syllables, the quicker they are pronounced. Example: I think he wants to go. I think that he wants us to go. I think it was an excellent affair. In the seconds, how to acquire a good English speech rhythm? If one wants to acquire a good English speech rhythm, one has to pay attention to the following 3 points. First, giving proper emphasis to stressed syllables and making them recur rather regularly within a sentence group. Second, proper organization of words into sentence groups by means of pause. Third, One way to improve the rhythm is to beat the rhythm with hand, one beat for each stressed syllable and with exactly the same time between each pair of beats. English is stress time language. This means that only stressed words determine the length of time any utterance takes, and all the others get squished into the brief moment between. This is very different from most Romance language, for example, which tend to be syllable time, meaning they have a much more regular rhythm. Stress. The words in English which carry stress are of two kinds. First, content words. Words that convey the main meaning of a sentence are the ones that bear stress. Thus, you will find that nouns, main not auxiliary verbs, and sometimes important modifiers tend to be the most prominent words in an utterance. In addition, of course, it is possible that a speaker may stress a particular word even if it falls into the category of auxiliaries or determiners in order to emphasize a point. Imagine this. The packages are the heaviest, unstressed syllables. The first sounds to attend to are the vowels. If you listen again, you will hear that the unstressed syllables all tend to have one of just two possible vowels, ear or sometimes I. Those are the vowels which are most central and unstressed. These unstressed syllables are already present in longer polysyllabic words. Have a look at these words, then listen and see if you can identify the weak syllables where the ear occurs. Example: telegraph, monolingual, ambidextrous, communicate, sensitive. The main thing to be aware of in thinking of English speech rhythm is thus unstressed. As many other languages are not stress time, this is something that will be challenging for non-native speakers both as they attempt to understand particularly fast-spoken English and as they seek to sound more intelligible to native speakers or even native-like. Research has found that the rhythm of the language produced is more likely to create comprehension problems among speakers than mispronounced phonemes.
So here I wanna explain about assimilation. Assimilation is something which varies in extent according to speaking rate and style. It is more likely to be found in rapid, casual speech and less likely in slow, careful speech. Sometimes the difference caused by assimilation is very noticeable, and sometimes it is very slight. Generally speaking, the cases that have most often been described are assimilations affecting consonants. Move to some examples of assimilations. Number 1. Anticipatory assimilations to a contiguous segment. Number 2. Anticipatory assimilations at a distance. Number 3. Lag assimilations to a contiguous segment. Number 4. Lag assimilation at a distance. Number 5. Coalitions. So move to concept of assimilation. The syllogical mechanism of co-articulation are unknown, but we often loosely speak of a segment as triggering an assimilatory change in another segment. In assimilations, the phonological patterning of the language, discourse styles, and accents are some of the factors contributing to changes observed. There are four configurations found in assimilations. Number 1. Between adjacent segments. Number 2. Between segments separated by one or more intervening segments. Number 3. Changes made in reference to a preceding segment. Number 4, changes made in reference to the following segments. So that's all about assimilations. Thank you. So that's all the material that we have provided to you guys. Thank you for watching all the materials and forgive us if we make mistakes in every material. So if you have a question, don't hold it back and get it out loud. Because some people say if you have a question but don't want to ask, you will get lost on the way, right? And finally, let me say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.